I'm Scott.
I'm Russell.
And I'm Leo. This is Spitball. Welcome to Spitball. I don't know what we're going to call ourselves, though. What are we going to call ourselves today?
Original?
We're three in-person entrepreneurs. Are trying something a little different this week.
That's great.
We normally are recording remote, as many people may know, but today we're doing something different. We're going to be in person, and we don't have a guest this week. We now, as of this episode, have done over 100 ideas cumulatively over the last 7 episodes or so, which is pretty sweet.
Yep.
So we thought maybe it'd be kind of fun to do a little bit of a retrospective and go back and look into each other's eyes as we look at all the stuff we've done over the last year and change and give out some awards to ourselves. But first,
Just ourselves, right?
When you say it that way.
we are so clever and witty and handsome. I thought it'd be fun maybe if we want to do a little bit of a warm-up to maybe pitch each other some remixes. So how do I introduce this? I don't have a good name for this yet. What do we call this? Pitch.
Will it blend?
Will it blend?
Yeah, we'll call it Will
That's
It
a great
Blend.
one.
Today we're going to be playing Will It Blend, where I have a little random number generator here, and I would like each of us to go around the horn and given a random prompt. For example, Scott, you of course are going are the head CTO of the product company that runs Crows as a Service. You remember that a couple episodes back?
I do.
I want you to tell me about this upcoming merger that you're having with the toothbrush cleaner that I pitched way back. So if you're going to be pitching how your two companies are coming together, how exactly could Crows as a Service be integrated with the toothbrush cleaning station?
The MVP is not going to be sanitary, is what it's going to be. Obviously, what we shared with our shareholders is the crows are going to fly into your apartment, and they are going to pick up your toothbrush and fly it off like one of those knife sharpening services where they just bring it back, except the crow just kind of does it. And then every day you always have a clean, fresh, crow poop-covered toothbrush.
My darling wife's, if I ever win the lottery wish, is I want to have a new toothbrush every day.
Every single
If
day.
you could have...
This explains a lot of your ideas.
Dude, the knife sharpening thing, though, made me think, what if crows, started picking knives up at your house and flying in the air to sharpen knives?
Oh, shit, it dropped it. Right through the heart of a small local squirrel.
That's good.
Russell?
Would you invest, Leo?
Heck no. The whole point was sanitary. I love that, but no, I don't think so. I'm here to tell you guys about my portable living room, but the enhancement on that idea. So you guys remember when we talked about how hollowing out a camper van, like that Soul Theater way back when, only instead it has some sort of portal game room?
Yeah.
Because our D&D group goes around and we aren't all in the same place. Well, of course, we got to augment that somehow. And that idea needs an enhancement. Of course, we're going to be adding on Russell's Don't Sound Stupid app. So this camper van is going to be always listening to you. You know, I didn't really integrate Twitch streaming. Perhaps this thing is always listening to everyone in the room and somehow making the living room experience worldwide.
Yep, and you can have your off the wall friend in the room with you and not get canceled. That would be awesome.
Yeah, it's like an auto-censoring system. I like that. You know how live broadcasts are run 10 seconds after the fact so they can bleep ever since Justin Timberlake wardrobe malfunction?
Was that the reason why?
I think so.
I believe that.
Well, this is that, but automated. You're feeding everything through ChatGPT. It's going to help you not sound stupid, only when you're streaming your games.
Nice.
Russell, I need you to tell me about Scott's Airbnb, Scott's stakeout cameras, which sounds great.
Oh my God.
So Russell, you know how we had Scott pitch the idea of the stakeout cameras a while back. So there's a camera that's got ChatGPT. You can say, where did I leave my keys? Or whatever. Remember how Anthony, our good friend, was on the show pitching Airbnb for servants? We had a hard time making that into a coherent thought, but how did that resolve? Where did Airbnb for servants even land?
I think the preposition is wrong on that one. It's like Airbnb with servants, not for servants.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it was literally you're at an Airbnb and there's also just a live-in servant there to take care of all of your needs. It morphed into something else.
You can fantasize the rich life, but Also
yeah,
give some.
Victorian era. Jeeves, go
Yeah.
warm
You know what
my-
that needs is AI-powered cameras all over it. What could go wrong? Tell me more about your cool new company, Russell.
Well, I think this was the missing piece to Anthony's Airbnb with servants. Because the worst part about having a servant is telling them what to do all the time.
Now robots can do it.
So now you have an AI-powered stakeout camera that's like giving chores at all times.
God,
There
this
you
is so
go.
dystopian. It's more like a Dharma initiative experiment where it's just like, how long can we keep these people doing chores in this room with just a voice telling them?
Okay, this would be an awesome reality TV show too. You just have the AI and a bunch of people. You get like Real World or Big Brother with this. Boom.
There you go.
They're right.
That's brilliant.
Reality TV version of servants. They're just like earpieces and they think they're humans. It's like Jury Duty, but with robots. Like
We are very close to having some sort of reality show with AI as like a key feature, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's those pranksters where they're like, the earpiece in, they tell people to do random, ridiculous things.
Impractical Jokers.
Yes, that's the one.
Oh
But just
my
do that where
gosh.
it's an AI controlling it, and let's just see what happens. Let's just go for it. ChatGPT, you're in charge of this human.
It's really wild. Yeah, you have one GPT for each person, and they're all interacting, like being controlled like puppets. Oh, man. You don't even need a show producer.
I'd watch it.
yeah. At least one season, right? Like
I have a feeling we have a lot of ideas to get to. You want to just hop into it?
Yeah, we will.
sure.
The premise of today's show is a little different. Instead of pitching new ideas, we wanted to circle back on all the ideas that we've had over the last, year and change, and instead do a bit of a award show of sorts, like paper plate awards that you'd get when you're going to eat orange slices with your sports team. You want to just hop right into it? I think we're going to start off with most unlikely. So we each have thought a little bit about over our last 100-ish ideas what we think would be the most unlikely to actually be a thing, or I guess if there's a different interpretation for most unlikely to
Yes.
succeed. I don't know. Tell me, what you guys bring? What do you think should win most unlikely of all of our ideas?
Okay, most unlikely. I'm gonna have to give it to weed koi fish.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That was one of... I have that later down. Okay.
Sorry, Scotty B.
Tell me why.
I think that
Well, first off, the weed koi fish idea was...
yeah. Refresh us.
please, I want to hear some defense on this.
This was one that I couldn't stop thinking about for a long time, to the point that I just had to bring it up on the show. But the short version was a friend who was growing weed, realized the market wasn't there, and decided to switch to goldfish, or koi fish, because millennials buy koi fish, and said, well, I have all the hydroponics, and I've got a shit ton of weed. Let's just feed the koi fish weed and use that as part of the branding for it. I will buy a home farm-raised koi fish that is only known one diet.
But why? What do I gain from purchasing a koi? I think we had a long discussion about if it's even possible.
Yeah, we pretty much got the semantics of that. Will this kill the fish or not? Our conclusion was the fish probably would survive.
I just think that feeding koi fish, like, oh, I got a weed koi fish online. I have to feed it weed all the time.
That's all it eats? There is no
Yeah,
option
right?
for fish food anymore?
Otherwise, it's not all weed.
That sounds expensive.
But it would be, honestly, it'd be very interesting. It might meet one of my other awards later. So,
Okay, going back and vocalizing it, yeah. This, I'm trying to remember the hook of it.
yeah, it's funny how some of these ideas, you look at them again and you're like, huh, that was terrible one day. And then you're like, oh, not so bad the other. So, yeah.
So I interpreted most unlikely to mean I don't know if this is even a feasible thing that can exist in our world. And I loved Kyle's idea about the radio-powered batteries, but I don't know if I'm still not convinced that that's even a physics possibility. So he proposed, what if we had some sort of battery that went in and then was doing ambient radio wave capture in order to generate energy, which sounds so amazing that it makes you wonder why that hasn't already existed. And Kyle, we love you. I'm still not convinced that that's possible. That's my nomination.
Might just be that you don't really want a bunch of millimeter wave receivers or emitters in every single room. Although he was saying with just like a basic FM, wasn't he?
I think he was saying Wi-Fi too. But like Does that cause Wi-Fi dead spots in your house? Because like it's
Right.
gobbling up all the EM. I don't know.
I guess technically you do it with FM, just a standard band going through, and as long as it's really low powered and you're
guess
just doing
so.
really low powered sensors for everything.
How much energy capture is that? Like, is that enough? I don't know. It doesn't seem possible, so that gets my vote for most unlikely.
Yeah, my walls in my house don't have radio going through it, right? So.
Probably do.
Well, I mean, like I can't put my ear up against my wall and hear the radio, right?
It's because you don't have a radio receiver in your ear, but the radio waves are still there, buddy. I'm pretty sure.
Well, somebody should then capture that and turn it into a battery, because that sounds realistic
do you
too.
know how radio waves work?
I guess you need to adjust the frequency, huh? Because then I'd be listening to all the stations at once.
Whoa. Like that movie with Michelle Yeoh.
Everything everywhere.
Everything everywhere, all
Everything
at once.
FM all at once.
All radio, all stations, all at once.
Scott, what's your nom?
Yeah.
It was a love corner. It was the reheat in meat.
I'll defend it.
The idea of,
No, I'll take it. It was my idea. It was my idea. So I'll fall on the sword of it being a little bit far-fetched. What if you had leftovers and that was the base? So I don't like leftovers. I don't like eating them. I think it's a worse version of the food that you already ate before, and it's not good. And there's very few foods that reheat better. But I can use leftovers from the chili last night to make a really good quesadilla tonight as an ingredient. That's how I get around having to deal with the leftovers. I use it to make something else. Salisbury steak, that was the burgers yesterday, right? What if I could find someone else? It was for the Oops All Love Corners episode, if I recall. So what if I put in there what I have for my leftovers and it found someone around town who I could make food with? And we either do like a swap. I don't know.
often be the mayonnaise to my egg salad. Like,
Exactly. Right? Or maybe you're not making something new, but maybe you're just sharing a meal and you each haven't had that meal.
see, I love that. But the idea of showing up at a stranger's house with a Tupperware.
You could meet in neutral territory. Go for a picnic or something. I don't know. Yeah, that's fine.
Then you can't reheat it. No.
I accept your nomination gracefully.
I think that one was second for me in best name, but I think I got to put that as most unlikely.
That's a really good one, Scott.
So now I think we fight.
Fight. Okay.
What were the three again? Reheat and meat,
Battery,
koi fish.
radio power batteries, and weed koi fish.
I think it's got to be the koi fish, guys.
No, I think it's reheat and meat.
Most unlikely? How is that unlikely?
I can't imagine doing that with friends, let alone with strangers.
You think it's unlikely not that the app could exist, but that anyone would want it?
Yeah. Hey, you want to do a reheat and meat later? Like, who in the right mind would do that? With
MVP needs at least two people, doesn't it? Shoot. Crap. It's just the same two users in the same town.
They love it, though.
What do you got for tonight?
Can you imagine bringing your wife out to a nice date and saying, "Hey, you want to do a reheat and meat?" That sounds like a great idea, right?
Is that what Gen Zers are calling it
Yeah.
now?
Like,
Oh, shoot. All right, I take it.
I mean,
Unless we want to fight more about the batteries. I mean, it was too cool of an idea, I think, to give it something that's such a negative award.
I just have to see it. Maybe he's an engineer. He believes it.
Are you guys
so-
voting for each other's ideas now? Am I a tiebreaker? Is that what's happening? Because you said you think reheat and meat, and you said weed and koi fish, right? Or
No, I said weed and koi fish. I think I got to go back to reheat and meat, though, because I still think that there is a market, that there are some people out there who would be like, I just want a koi fish, man.
You know, I honestly, your defense, I was like, I guess anybody would buy. Some people would just buy it because it's like I got high as hell. Right?
Look
They'd
at my
just be
fish.
like,
Look at his little squinty eyes and how happy he is.
I don't think that's how that works. Do they have eyelids? I don't know.
I don't know, man. I do not know enough about koi fish to be pitching this.
one YouTube video of a high koi fish, and I think people would be like, "Huh, maybe I'll buy one," especially if they're high. You know, like
If you had an A/B testing about how
okay.
much, yeah.
You guys have sold me. Reheat and meat gets the Razzie.
All right.
Most unlikely.
What's next?
We got to keep going through these this week.
yeah.
Biggest revenue potential. I've got pretty strong opinions, but I brought a couple here. So, of course, I think Idle TC's got to be the one.
Okay,
Right?
I put that one too. That was like one of my two. I'm like, of course it's got to be.
It's gotta be ILTC.
Yeah.
That's the only tested one out in the market right now, at least
true.
by us.
That's true.
How do I buy one of those, Scott?
Well, idletowncenter.com, of course.
IdleTownCenter.com, you say.
Use coupon code, how do you turn this on?
Our first sponsor.
Do you have a spitball coupon code?
No, use a coupon code spitball.show.
To get what?
I don't know.
To get an Idle Town Center.
20%
Get a free
off.
pack of gummy bears in the package or something. All right. So I'll go first.
Go ahead.
I'll hit it up. I have a serious answer and I have the intriguing answer. Biggest revenue potential. This is pie in the sky potential. That has no ceiling. So I think maybe your intentional corporate espionage idea has.
Really?
I mean, if you really worked that properly, you could be milking Fortune 500 companies for all that they've got, right? Maybe. What was that
Okay,
idea?
so the basics of this idea was as if someone leaves a company and gets hired by another company, the original company or a third party can stay in contact with that employee and kind of coax or use them into throwing business from the new company back to the old one. So just like spy versus spy, this employee would have a handler, gets hired onto the new company, and is able to contact them and throw business back.
It has the word corporate in it. That it automatically means it has money.
Exactly.
Or grocery store surplus meal kits.
Yeah. Okay.
That's money that's just on the floor. That's going to the
literally
trash.
going in the garbage.
Yeah.
Which
that's,
was this one
That's
again?
got revenue potential.
This was you take all the food that's like 2 or 3 days about to expire. So the stuff they start putting red stickers on, you buy it all, create recipes on the fly, and you sell it as like a drive-through pre-made meal.
And I think we pivoted to having the grocery store be the one assembling it too, which was that hit home for me. Like that's free money right there that they're throwing out.
Just
I
hire
know.
one full-time employee to be making these kits.
There you go. Some local chef,
Out the door, it's like $5. Here you go.
person at the deli counter, bored out of their mind. Give them a book.
Give them a
There
book,
you go, a
right?
recipe book, and now they can make some meal kits.
Instant upsell. I like that.
What do you got?
I gotta go stores on this one. The Amazon storage shipping that Russell came up with, where they keep a hold of all your belongings. You can order your own stuff back for a monthly fee. They either pick it up and bring it back. That the logistics are all there. Everything is there for that. And the multiple guests that we had on the show who are living in apartments in downtown New York or something, they're like, I have no room for stuff. If Amazon can bring it back and forth, that's just brilliant.
My pitch for that was so good, too. I pitched that so well on that episode.
I think you came up with the name Stores on the fly.
Yep.
I did.
Man alive.
But it was all about like square footage of your home.
And we pivoted
Reclaim.
into the Uber model of people
Yep.
getting money from putting stuff in their basement and attic and barn and all that. Remember that?
Hit a button on your phone app and you could I have my lawnmower in storage. I can hit a button and just automatically goes on Facebook Marketplace or Amazon's
yeah.
equivalent. That's what hit home for me.
That would be cool.
There's a lot there. It's so logistically complicated for the how do you stop the people storing it from going through your stuff? How do you get the supply so that you have the storage local to the person? I don't know, man. It's got so much that I love about it. And biggest revenue potential?
That's where I'm
What do you got, bud? What do you bring?
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
What is mine?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's Redbox optometrists.
Whoa.
The
Oh, yeah.
referrals. Remember when we pivoted to the referrals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
what was the idea?
Redbox optometrist was basically you'd walk up to a Walgreens, like a Redbox, put your eyes in the machine. It would scan your eyes, do the whole eye exam, and then would either tell you, you got to go see a doctor, or here's your prescription, see it in the mail in 5 days, right?
See you next year.
And that's it. I get text messages all the time about my latest doctor's appointment that I haven't done. And it's just and then every time you go 3 years later, it's like, you're fine. Your prescription's exactly the same. See you next year. Nope. I'm not coming back, dude, for another, for another few years. But
It's for the in-between.
right. And I feel like it's like one of those blood pressure machines that they have in every single store, and it's a health thing. So people are always going to be going and just oh, maybe I'll just get my eyes checked real quick while I wait for my prescription. Boom.
Sometimes your car needs a whole tune-up, and sometimes it just needs a quick oil change.
Right.
You know?
Right. And it's one of those things where you don't have to do it, but all of a sudden if it's there, you're just I'm going to just, why not?
Totally.
Why not? Right. And instant, you just manufacture 100 of these. You stick them on a wall.
Redbox recently went bankrupt, so you could buy the literal boxes. Put a camera on the side.
Pull the guts
boom.
out. And
Have you seen the inside of one of those things, by the way? It's
No.
nuts. It's like a big cylinder, and they're all slotted in. It's crazy. I have pictures of it. They're sweet.
We should buy one of those. Just for fun. Just throw
Turn
stuff
it
in
into a
there.
mini fridge or something.
Let's just turn that into a spitball podcast, physical versions.
sometimes it spits out Dumb and Dumber,
Ooh, turn into a lottery. That's fun. What movie am I going to get? Well, now we fight.
Now we fight.
Grocery store surplus. I think I'm of the two that I brought, intentional corporate or grocery store surplus. I think I'm leaning that. But you guys
Come
drive
on,
a hard
Redbox
bargain.
optometrist is the best. Scott, you got to back me
I
up
think
on
the
this because it's your
FDA
idea.
Yeah, the FDA is standing anyway.
Oh, is that it? There's no way.
I just need to be, I don't know.
You're right. It's
Licensed medical professionals only.
What was her name? Theratron? What was it?
Elizabeth Holmes.
Yeah.
Theravin.
Thermatron is where Caleb works.
Theravin.
Theremin is the instrument. It was called.
Come on, we can do this.
Oh my God! Elizabeth Holmes's company was Theranos.
Theranos. So Thanos meets
Thanos.
thermoses. Okay. Terrible name. Worst name award.
I think I got to go for the grocery store on that one, though, just because
Really?
it's like it's applicable to the entire world. Like anywhere where there's a grocery store, you can now swap this over. And I guess everyone has eyes everywhere too, but there aren't Walgreens everywhere. So
This doesn't mean revenue potential for the one service across
Yeah.
the world.
yep,
Yeah,
that's how I'm
revenue
thinking
to be
about it.
gained.
Makes the most revenue.
You open source it. Here's the plans.
I could sell recipes, maybe. Maybe that's it. Just like the common grocery items.
It does seem like a hard idea to like centralize onto just I'm the only one that does this. You know.
Yeah, you'd have to like hire people, and that one guy comes in the store, buys all the,
Yeah.
Rancid
We'll have to see
chicken.
that.
Congratulations. That's a tie. We have the three of us, which means we don't have to worry about tiebreakers. That worked out
Hey.
nicely.
Nice.
That means the grocery store surplus. Advancing
go.
with biggest revenue potential.
All
Next,
right. Wait. Where's my trophy, though?
we are not giving each other 10 trophies.
Come on.
Aren't we amazing?
It's the most narcissistic thing we can do, right? It's just
Everyone else loves how great we are, so we made ourselves gifts to show each other how great we are.
the hottest love corner idea.
I have 4 that I brought.
Yeah.
So I don't know about this.
I have a very strong opinion on this one.
Oh,
but go ahead.
excellent. I
What
think
is
I know what your
hottest?
opinion is. Can I guess?
You can guess.
Is it beacons?
It is, of course, the beacons.
It's beacons.
You want to hit us with beacons, Russell? What was beacons?
Okay. I mean, actually, I want Scott. You should tell it because I feel like I've forgotten how good it is.
Scott is the most passionate beacons advocate I've ever met.
I love this idea. Okay. I
What
don't
do
know.
you think it is?
I don't know if it's a piece of. I guess it's just a phone app at this point, where I can hit a button on this phone app and it lights a quote unquote beacon that appears on either an in-app map or just on Google Maps or whatever that just says something is happening here. And so if you have a bunch of guys going out being like, hey, let's go out on the town, let's all light our beacons at such and such bar.
That's right.
It'll cause more people to go to that bar, and it just causes a chain reaction. Also, there are a million puns that you can do with this one. The beacons are lit. Leo calls for aid. And
We talked about different colors, and
Yes.
then we don't tell what it means, so the world kind of, oh man, orange is downtown. Can you believe it, or whatever? You know, we let the culture decide what it means.
Oh, wait. We talked about that?
We did.
Oh, that is awesome. I love that part of beacons.
I was
remember
gonna
it.
go in that night, but then I saw it was so green downtown, so I had to go see what was up, or whatever that means.
there's a red beacon over there, a distress beacon over there. What could that one be?
Flat tire. Yeah.
Or a fire. It's one or the other, right? Red. Don't go to reds.
It's just so simple, but so many applications. That one has to. That's it for me. Hottest love corner. What do you got?
Okay. Love that. I'm Sonder is my favorite.
I had Saunders, one of mine too.
Yeah, that is like
What was Sonder again?
Sonder is basically a dating app that you passively use on your phone. You turn it on, and as you do more things, the app matches you with more people that do those things. Mm-hmm. And so
Location aware, right?
Yes, location aware, but it's not just like you passing on the street, maybe shared commutes, but the whole pitch was all about, oh, you could be going to the same gym as your future, soulmates, but you're just 3 minutes off. You pass, they check in, you're checking out. You go on the train, same train, different time slot, same apartment building, different floor. It's just like, it's the FOMO of like, oh, I could be having the perfect person right next to me in a big city and not meet them.
I love it. And I was fresh off of reading a paper about somebody, I think it was a blog post actually, about somebody who had done that with their then fiance, where they compared the last 8 years of their Google location history together.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, honey, before we ever met, we were at the same coffee shop like 4 times and all that kind of stuff. I love that so much.
And then we turned it into like just regular life friends. Like, I think that was it. Like, you could just add that to, kind of, I think you talking about that made that into a thing. So
Sander's really good. Those are my top 2 also. Friend of a Friend is the original. It was like one of the first things you ever
Friend
picked
of
on
a
the show.
Friend.
It deserves at least an honorable mention in this category because it's so core that it's the only idea we've ever done twice. We went back and we did a Friend of a Friend 2.0 a couple episodes ago. And we
true.
enhanced on it.
Can you pitch Friend of a Friend?
Friend of a Friend was instead of you picking, I think we turned it into like collectible cards, but they're all my friends, if I remember right.
Yeah.
So instead of you being the one who's dating, you register yourself in the app as somebody who's available, and you pair yourself up with a trusted friend who then does the matching on your behalf, right? So this is something you've thought a lot about, Russell, as I recall.
yeah.
At least a third of the ideas are all related to this.
So I actually like started the Facebook group with this, and then it felt like I was turning it in. It just seemed like a swingers app very quickly, and I'm like, oh boy. When it becomes real, it's like, ugh. But like,
tracks.
yeah. But the thing was, you're the only photos that you could post on the app were of you and your friend. So that way, everybody was safe. Friend of a friend.
Still risky, isn't it?
Definitely still. All these dating apps are, right, in a way, but
That's true.
Yeah.
Sort of inherent in the category.
I
What do you
have
think?
Still strong
beacons.
opinions on beacons, and I'm going to hold to that.
do you
Saunders a great idea. I like beacons.
May I propose a little bit of a fast forward here for best name being Beacon, because I have this in both. Beacon is such an evocative term. The way that you say, "Oh, was it on Beacon?" It feels like that is a thing that is naturally in the lexicon already.
Nah, I want to fight for names later. I got.
All right, you got some
Beacons
good
is the
names.
best.
It's
for-
great. You thinking
Yeah.
Beacon too?
Well, I think Sonder by far, just because
Really?
it's just
Great.
it's
All right.
gotta be.
Sonder
But
it is.
I think Beacons is the most fun dating app, where I feel like Sonder is the most like encouraging.
Yeah,
One,
for
right?
hottest love corner. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
That's what I
it.
was just about to say.
That's
Is
it.
like
Yep.
if you're gonna go with hottest love corner, Beacons it might not even be a dating app.
You're right. You're right.
But I had it in the list as the first one. It started as a Russell's Love Corner pitch, if I recall. But yeah.
It did.
Love it.
All right. Congratulations for the hottest love corner to Sonder. All right. Best
Best
name.
name.
You said you have a lot of heated opinions. I want to hear what you got. What'd you bring?
Best name. Oh, cabinets that are dishwashers.
Whoa.
It's so simple.
That's not even a name.
It's so simple. The entire idea is in those words.
It is the first 4-word pitch that we ever had. Where I didn't
You
have any
came in, you're
follow-up.
like, I'm going to pitch it. 4 words. And we had a 30-minute discussion about those 4 words.
It's not. I don't know if it's a name though. All right, I'll take your nomination. What else? Oh, should I talk any more about it? We talked about the the downsides of washing and wearing away the enamel every time.
You don't have to pitch it again because it's all in the name.
Yeah.
That's why it's so good.
You take a dish out, and now the whole rack gets cleaned. Yeah. I'm going to pitch my own idea for this one, but I didn't coin the name. I believe Sander did. I love Walkopedia.
Walkopedia was
That's a
good.
good name.
Walkopedia is you are doing, there's a whole database out there on Wikipedia of interesting facts about locations. They all have like address and lat long all attached to them. So what if you just were walking around like you're listening to a podcast, but AI is telling you about the interesting building over there that you didn't know about, or that memorial rock over there that you've never noticed, or the church that's over there actually burned down twice and you had no idea, and all that kind of stuff that's just all around you. It'd be really cool if we were pulling from Wikipedia and giving walking tours. And then Sanders said, Walkopedia. And I was like, yes! You found it! I nominate that for best name.
That's a good one.
And Beacon.
Oh, Beacon. Did you put Beacon on there? No, what was yours?
We just got Beacon for Hottest Love Corner, but he wanted
That's
cabinets
right.
that are dishwashers.
I
Cabinets that are
know.
dishwashers.
Cabinets that are dishwashers.
Which is not a name.
My second place one.
Can you imagine
I'll
being the
take
name
your
of a
second
business?
place one. Let me get
Cabinets that are. What do you do though?
Get out. You're not allowed to ask that here.
right.
Don't waste my time.
What's your second idea so I could take that one, Scott? I'll just steal that one.
gosh.
It's another tax fraud as a service. Like it was catchy. I feel like if you had that as a domain, there's
You and I
something-
have different interpretations of this.
I think we do too. I like the practical. Talk me through what this is.
No, it's great. I'm not right or wrong. I am definitely thinking, what's a catchy like portmanteau?
No, I want to have no room for error on here. This is exactly what it is.
Okay.
Sorry, Scott. I got to give it to Wikipedia because it's creative.
Wikipedia is very catchy.
Yeah,
it's all around good.
I love it very, very much.
And
All
yeah.
right, I'll take best name. All right. Most practical. You know what mine was? Cabinets that are dishwashers.
No, there's no way.
If we get it working, that is something I would use multiple times a day, and I'd be very happy about it.
Isn't practical in this sense like the most makes sense of
right.
it? Like,
All right, then I
Is
will
it
also
feasible, viable, or desirable? And I don't know if it's any of those.
All right, I will also bring Uber for car mechanics to the table then. Uber for car
that's a
mechanics
good
was
one.
your idea that I was
Yeah.
kind of lukewarm on. Like, okay, someone could come to me and do the car repair. I guess that's fine. It seems like it'd be impractical. And then you pitched an enhancement on it, I think, Russell, where you said, what if your customer was like collective businesses and you're going around the parking lot?
Yeah, that was the killer part.
They're all sitting out there doing nothing all day. All these cars, just fields of parking lots. Your benefits HR office, whatever, is saying, hey, we got a new thing. We'll cover part of it or whatever. We'll do your oil change. That is so obvious to me now. Like, why are these cars just sitting here waiting to be worked on? That is genius. I love Uber for car mechanics. I think maybe that might actually be my most practical because cabinets that are dishwashers is silliness.
I'm afraid to say the next award because
Oh, interesting.
so
What's your
anyways,
most practical, Russell?
I've got targets on my back all of a sudden.
You know that widely beloved cabinets that are dishwashers that everybody agrees is the best idea?
Best name, at least.
What were you saying?
I thought the most practical would be loofah dryers
Really?
because
That was Chris' idea. What was you? Do you want to pitch it?
I mean, it was basically like, how do I dry this loofah before I put it in the
you're
freaking
traveling, right?
box?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm like, oh, and then we found like two clever ideas. I think
They came up with several on that.
Yeah, we did.
And
Yeah.
at first I heard that, I'm like, I don't think this is going to go anywhere. And by the end of it, I'm like, very strong opinions on this
Let me
loofah.
get the 3D printer out. Yeah, no joke.
The ring? It's just a ring on the end of the loofah that you pull it through itself and it
Dries.
gets all the water out.
That's
It's brilliant.
That's the one that hops to my mind. What were the other ones? I don't remember what the other pitches were. That was my favorite one.
There's some forms of different bags and things you
swinging
could
it
put
around.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I was
We're using centrifugal force
Yeah.
to soak your hotel room. That's right. In your own dead skin
But your
cells and
loofah's
soap.
dry.
I was just like, oh yeah, I bought a ring with my loofah, and
Yeah.
loofahs would just come with these rings.
It
And
does
then
seem
boom.
obvious.
For most practical, I gotta go with the stakeout cameras.
I could see that.
Okay.
Just an ADD life I live where I could just be like, hey, where's my freaking keys? Where did I put them? And it's like, oh, I have a frame of you dropping them behind the trash can over here. There's so many applications where I could just ask an AI, what is this? And it'll tell me what's going on.
Seems like we're on the cusp of AI being able to manage enough information at once to keep all that in its memory.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, proactive, whatever, the cat just puked upstairs. Hey, just so you know, you left the back door unlocked and it's 10 p.m. That kind of stuff that it'll just kind of ambiently watch. This is different than it was 5 days in a row before, you know?
Yep.
That is very practical, but I don't know if it is possible.
Yet.
A loofah dryer is even...
A loofah dryer is printing right now.
An Uber for mechanics is pretty dang practical, too.
Yep.
I recently got an oil change and then drove to the airport and realized on the way home from the airport a week later that the shield pan thing that goes underneath the car was just loose and dragging on the road the whole time.
fun.
And it's because they said, I don't know how that could have happened when I went back to the place to have them reattach it. That's so crazy. But I'm certain they didn't attach it back right. So sure wish I could have just taken care of that oil change while I was just sitting at work. That's pretty dang great. Instead of having to take time out of my day to go to a place.
That's how it does.
Just the idea of ending your day and coming back to your car and someone has, oil changed, cleaned it, washed it, like throw whatever things you want on the list. That would just be a good feeling. And you're right. That everything exists that needs to be known. Yeah, I think you've convinced me.
Pretty dang practical.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's pretty
cleaning
practical.
What about you?
The car clean sounds amazing, actually. Just like the idea. No, literally my car, I clean it twice a year. 2 times a year. And that's like all the fast food bags and stuff.
Oh, Russell,
I
we're
know,
that
that's
guy.
pretty bad. I'm that guy. I'm like the
no.
high school friend that like throws, you step on all the water
Yeah, I'll
bottles.
give you a ride.
Yeah.
Just
Exactly.
piles of energy drink.
Oh, nasty.
I don't even lock my car because it looks like somebody lives in it. Like straight up.
That isn't a perk.
Even my wife's like, yeah, I don't worry about feeling scared driving around in this car. It's just scary enough.
It's just the smell. Yeah.
Yeah, I need that in my life, so that's why. Okay, I'm still gonna go loofah drivers, but if you guys want to fight over,
I got to go for the mechanics on there.
Okay,
Uber for mechanics.
Sorry about you. Uber for mechanics.
let's
you
go.
win anyway,
Let's
don't
go.
you?
You
When
win
you
anyway.
lose, you win. Most impractical.
Oh, do you want me to go first,
Go
Leo?
ahead, bud, go.
It 1,000% is dishwashers for cabinets. Cabinets for dishwashers.
How can you say that?
Okay, I recently did plumbing in my home, and to think about plumbing
God.
every single cabinet. Every single
You
cabinet.
could make something modular where they all connect together.
What kind of hot water heater do you got to plug in there for all your cabinets?
Well, don't forget, it's also a microwave built into it. It can heat up its own water and then use that going through.
Isn't there like a fan, like all the spinning blades in there too? Like there's so much
Spinning
moving
blades?
parts.
It's a plastic arm, but yeah,
Okay,
I guess,
same thing,
sure.
right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
But I mean, like maybe they invent the
Well, since-
version that is not as crazy. But yeah, also you're gonna hang cabinets that have.
They're very heavy.
Sorry, yeah.
Water is extremely heavy. That is something I have not solved for yet.
Before the dishwasher part, just the water part. So, love the idea. Don't get me wrong. The thought that my dishes could always be clean, but
Well, since you've hurt me so deeply. Most impractical. Windshield games.
oh no,
I could do this for that or a later category about being in the hospital, but
My mouth was open during this entire pitch. I'm like, are you being serious right now?
So, when
Please
you're- yeah.
pitch windshield games.
Okay, windshield games is a very practical idea because they already have speedometers on windshields, so why can't I play games on it? So it's basically a light that a projector that displays on your windshield so that it can keep your attention on the road while you drive.
We kept trying to steer it away. Like, yes, games while driving, that's fine. Like audio games or quizzes, and you're like, no, where's Waldo?
Here's Waldo.
so at any time I can disengage the steering column and use Mario Kart controls. What?
You guys got to drive on
Are
road
you
trips,
sure?
right?
While you're on the highway, you're sure.
That's actually a really
Preferred.
good idea. Can I turn my car while parked and safe into a Mario Kart simulation using this?
I think there's racing games for Teslas on the screen where you sit parked and use the
That's
gas
really
and
cool.
stuff. Yeah, it's fun. What about, can I also throw out, so that's one of my nominations. Also, QR code tattoos, I got to talk a little bit more about. That was an early one.
Most impractical?
Yeah.
I have some things to say about that, but
Go ahead. You first.
So
what is it?
The pitch was if I were to get a temporary tattoo of a QR code,
I don't think we said temporary, but continue.
okay, a tattoo of a QR code.
Yeah.
It is
Oh,
going
yeah.
to entice people to scan. Like, who the hell would get a tattoo of a QR code? I need to see what this is. If I saw a guy cross me in a subway and that was just like on his shin, I would absolutely be trying to get a picture of that. But
Why?
the premise was you could solicit your body.
Bandcamp?
Yeah, it ended up turning into
You could be a billboard for Taco Bell.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
But
Scan my
is
leg.
that practical?
scan my leg. You just walk up to people.
And my leg.
And remember, Robbie, who was on the show, actually did this at a trade show. He got a bunch of temporary tattoos and put them on himself and be like, oh, you want my business card? Just scan my arm here.
Business card? Yes. I think I did say I've thought about having that exact thing done before in the past. You buy a domain. There's even a .tattoo TLD. You could have like your name .tattoo, right? And then you could point it to whatever you want it to be.
That's
It's
the
a
key. You
Rickroll
point
today.
it.
It's a something tomorrow, right? But
Yeah.
still, it's so...
I think you just sold yourself on it. That sounds
Yeah.
great.
All right.
I think it's like one of those things that sound great, but then it's really cringy when it actually happens. Right? Like take a pic. I don't know. It's just something about that.
Scan my shin.
Love
Yeah.
corner.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, Russell. Most impractical. I gotta go with the salt cannon on there.
The salt cannon.
Mm-hmm.
A stop
We're both
sign.
in shock.
Salt cannon.
I like salt cannon. So tell me what's salt cannon?
Salt cannon. This is the stop sign one, right?
This is the stop sign one.
Yep.
So the salt
It
cannon.
has some downsides. I'll give you that.
It's a bag of salt on a stop sign, and it throws salt.
You're not doing it justice, but continue.
Every couple minutes, a bag. Every couple minutes.
Every couple minutes, it launches regardless of children or pets
Or
near
weather.
it. Or weather. Exactly.
Okay, wait, let me back up. The problem.
What's the problem, Russell?
The most dangerous part. Okay. So the one time you need to stop in the snow is at a stop sign, and
One time.
The only time I've ever stopped.
where you need the least amount of ice is at a stop sign. So why not put salt throwers at the stop sign to throw salt occasionally while it snows
At the intersection.
at the intersection? And then somebody said the children, as they play,
Yeah.
will get hit in the face with salt unless you had a detector.
And how do we fill them all?
That's my favorite
we have
part.
children going, or people going around and filling them like they charge scooters, where we do a distributed model, right? But then how do you stop them from filling with
Actually,
gravel?
Russell came up with a clever for that one, where the salt truck going by has a little crane thing that comes
Yeah,
over
that's
and
right.
fills it.
That's right.
I like the Uber children salt mines going though.
I'm really good at BSing these things. Huh? I'm just.
I don't know about most impractical, but it's definitely infeasible. There are challenges to overcome. We're in early days, as the founders like to say.
That's right. We just need the salt truck that does this, right?
So what are our nominees? We got QR code tattoos, I'm okay on. Windshield games is tough. Cabinets that are dishwashers. And salt cannon.
Come on, guys. Come on. Do I really?
You weren't convinced by any of our more impractical ones?
I
I think
thought you
QR
were,
code
guys.
tattoos is probably my contender for most impractical, but I'd like to hear your thoughts. Cabinets, all right, that's fine.
I'm all in on cabinets, and I really
Okay.
think you should reconsider the windshield games.
The fact that it's nominated, I'd like that rescinded, please. Scott, where are you leaving?
I have another nomination.
Go ahead.
Powerline mail delivery,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
What was this?
which is also a great name in the practical sense of
It's
names.
like a band
but
name, isn't it? Yeah.
Powerline mail delivery.
What was that?
Russell, can you pitch this one, please?
So we have all these power lines all over the planet that go straight to your house.
Off and underground. But continue.
Okay.
Let him finish.
I'm sorry.
Above ground networks, okay. Why not throw some drones to replace mail carriers or whatever, mail delivery, because you already have cables going straight to your house. Why not use the power lines that go into your home to charge and power drones that ride those lines to deliver your packages? That's it.
It's very evocative. It's something that you can clearly picture in the mind's eye, and I like that a lot.
Yes.
I agree. And while we were pitching that, I'm like, okay, yeah, I could see that. And then every time I'm driving and I look at power lines, I'm just like, no.
How would that
No, like, look at that right there. No.
that big transformer, it's got to go around, and how would it go across that part? Yeah.
This power line is just coiled over here like 16 times.
Shoe dangling off of it.
The traffic. I think the traffic would be a problem. You'd have like 100,000 drones, let's say, dropping off.
They're
a
all
bunch
going
of
one
packages.
way,
Yeah.
and then they're all coming back in the evening, right? You
I
can wait
don't
your
know.
turn.
I
don't
guess
wanna
so.
argue for it. You're supposed to be defending this idea. It's not impractical.
I mean, like, I just imagine a line of power lines sagging as you're
Yeah,
going
right.
to work.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's a mini fridge over there. It's just,
When's the sofa getting delivered, honey?
Oh, I saw it on the line.
I would immediately try to capture one of those drones and keep it for myself.
Shoot it down from
Yeah,
the power
sure.
line.
It's going all the way to my house. It's not going back.
that one is my vote. What do you guys
Interesting.
got?
Ooh, okay. It makes dishwashers for cabinets sound way more practical. All of a sudden. But here's what I would argue that exists. drones are powered on power lines now. There's an article or whatever.
It's true. I did send Russell months later an article about drones that were landing and capturing ambient current on power lines as an experiment.
That sounds practical.
It does. It's not the pitch, but
And you know what? A dishwasher is technically a cabinet that washes dishes. You just
that's kind of the whole point. Just hang some dishwashers up there, done.
Give it a nice veneer wood finish, and you're good.
Are we at a standstill?
I think so.
Interesting.
We'll have to phone a friend for this one.
We had a long discussion after the pitch from Steph about whether or not the snow melting pad is a valuable use of electricity. That's a contender that I was thinking about.
So
a little
this
bit.
was
Not
a
valuable, but
Pad for your driveway
possible.
that keeps.
It sounds so simple in principle, and it takes so many BTUs to like melt snow. That we looked into it. It was
the
like,
math after this one. Like you would need like 7 cans of propane in order to go through one blizzard or something.
So that's not very practical.
That's true.
I put a spin on the compost pile being the heat source, remember?
Oh yeah,
Forgot about
underground.
Yeah.
Do we just come up with a lot of impractical ideas?
That's a lot of impractical ideas. What does it say about us in the show? What's yours again?
Power lines, mail delivery.
I like that
power
more
lines.
than my own. I think if I have to bust a standstill and you two aren't budging, I will fall on my own katana and say the cabinets that are dishwashers is a
What?
beautiful pipe dream that is hard to execute. And I am cognizant of all of the downsides, so I will nominate that.
Whoa. I honestly moved to drones on power lines, though.
No, you made me vote for myself, only to be foiled at the
I'm
last
sorry,
moment. All right.
Sorry.
Drone power line is very impractical, but
Love it.
Oh, I guess I don't want to win that. Never mind, I think about it. I shouldn't
no,
have.
it's too late. You're locked in. I'm bringing a lot for most viral. There's a lot of ways to interpret most viral. I'm very excited to hear what you guys think about this.
Oh, okay.
Let me kick it off. The anti-squirrel artillery cannon by Carl, our friend,
Yeah.
has such a potential. If you glue a camera on that thing with a zoom lens and you are capturing nonstop live stream or even highlight clips of squirrels getting blasted all the time by water and being surprised, I would watch that Twitch
Yep.
stream.
Ooh, I guess I
know?
would too.
If you were the company running it, you could have all your users opt in and just have a best of feed. That'd be so fun. That could go viral. I feel like that has like major meme potential. But as far as like a thing that is successful in its virality, you know what I mean? Like, is that a different concept than this thing is? You know what I mean?
I was just thinking, what's the one that's most likely going to be known by everyone for whatever reason?
Sure. And what do you got?
I had to go back to Airbnb for servants on that one.
Oh.
I think if you were to actually execute that and news outlets or Reddit got a hold of that, it wouldn't last long, but that would be a big viral moment.
How about you?
I was the red flags.
Tell me about red flags.
I believe it was
This
like
a
the
love
dating.
corner?
Yeah, it was a love corner that was dating app that I think you were trying to match based on red flags.
Things that you both, your icks, was that the
Your
one where you're,
icks.
yeah.
And then like you're just posting your icks on there. I think that would just get people would be like, "What the heck is this dating app? Why would I
Yeah.
put red flags on here?" And it'd just be like, but it would be one of those things that everybody's like, "Oh, whoa."
I could see that one going either way.
Is there a lot of
Yeah.
friction in getting people to download another dating app? Or is that like, do
Absolutely.
people who do the dating app scene have like 10 of them?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
do they get?
Yes.
So what's one more? That could be there.
As long as there's enough people on it, yeah.
Okay. That is the thing,
Oh.
right? The network effect of like you got to kickstart it somehow. Let me pitch you guys on Fantasy Anything. My own idea for turning fantasy football or whatever, but for Great British Bake Off or Bachelorette or
I really like that
Survivor or
one.
whatever. If you were the commissioner of that league and you're getting 12 people to sign up for that, and then, one of the 12 users there wants to make his own league and he gets a bunch of other friends to be in another league, it seems like that has built-in virality. Just because everyone has to have an account to participate with the thing that they're in, which is also true of your shame each other for betting on an idea thing. What is that called?
I don't remember what we called that one, but the app was if you have a group of people that are trying for a goal and you all succeed together or you all fail together, which means that if we're all trying to work out every day and Leo doesn't, and I'm going to lose something because Leo's not freaking working out, I'm going to go after him to get him to work out. Motivation through guilt.
Yeah. We've got a few ideas here where a group of people, like the Beacons, they all have to be using it. So Beacons would be another
Yep.
one for me. The communal podcast app is interesting.
Oh, yes. Is that the one you comment on the podcast?
As it's going.
That was a good one.
I'm listening to T-Pain comment on this episode of whatever because he's one of the featured, or whatever. You've got like celebrity people or your friends all like pitching in on ideas and stuff. Yeah.
That's a good one.
All-in-one snowmakers for most viral. I love that idea.
Backyard.
Oh,
I can just bring a small snowmaker in my backyard, and even if the weather's 40, 50 degrees and gross out in spring, I can just still fill it with snow.
You need cold, you need a nucleating nozzle, and you need pressure and water.
Yep.
And you can make snow even if it's not 32 and below. It seems like something that could be a lot of fun, and you'd get all the like, oh, there's a heartwarming story about a kid who didn't get Christmas, but then they made what I mean?
White
There's
Christmas.
Yeah, that's an Instagram ad right there. Or we sell them to local fire departments. I think was an idea too.
Yep.
It's just an attachment to your power washer already, too. Like, boom.
We got a lot of them here for most
All right,
viral.
what are our
This
options
is a
again?
tough one. Well, we just named like 10 of them.
Yeah.
Anti-squirrel artillery cannon, fantasy anything, communal podcast app, backyard snowmaker. What were the ones you said?
Red flags.
Red flags.
Airbnb for servants.
Yep.
I think I got to go with fantasy everything on this one.
Yeah?
I think you convinced me. I feel like that could just people would just be all about that as soon as they think of their own little niches for it.
Mm-hmm.
Then
The network effect.
Everyone loves to gamble, apparently.
That's true. I wonder how you run in front of gambling law with this.
That's a great
Cryptocurrency.
one.
Just use a crypto.
Yeah, or Airbnb for servants would just you said that right. Catch fire.
That's something.
That would burn out really quick, but it would go viral.
Yeah.
Everybody would know about it. That one Airbnb, it would be booked.
Did you guys hear about that? Yeah, right.
Comes with a servant. Oh, what,
Why?
Why?
dude?
That should have been one of our awards. Why?
Well, I'm also
Cool.
going with the fantasy anything. So unless
All right.
you want to convince one of us out of that,
No, that's a pretty good one.
I think that's a good one.
That's
for
a good
viral.
one.
All right. Most illegal.
Okay.
Tax fraud as a service.
That one is not illegal. That's the whole purpose of it. I am going to circumvent
One slip up.
using known tax laws, and I'm just going to be like, oh, I see you do this as a hobby. Well, if you just get an LLC, then all of a sudden now all these hobby things are a write-off. And it just, kind of guides you through that process. Nice and legally.
Sure.
Nice and legally, yeah.
That was the
seems
intention anyway.
We need a name. Oh, we need a name change on that. Like,
Of course. This is a
Not
branding
fraud-
exercise
not
there.
fraud as
Not
a service.
fraud as a service.
Fraud. Just-
Ultrasonic smart speakers. I think your whole pitch was how do I break into homes and stuff.
Yeah.
oh, that's a
That
good one.
one's pretty illegal.
You want to run that by again? You read an article.
There's an article that says Google Homes and Alexas and whatever can, if you were to play voice commands at it was 25 kilohertz or something really high that you can't normally hear, Google and Alexas can still pick that up, which means I could be blasting very loud commands to Google that no one else could hear.
To unlock my door.
Exactly. Alexa, play Cotton Eye Joe.
Right.
Yeah, that one could get pretty illegal pretty quick.
How about you, Russell?
I have tax fraud as a service. So
It feels right for this
Just
one.
because
doesn't
it
it?
has the name fraud in it.
it's just
Did you have
most
another
likely.
alternative, Scott?
No,
for
that's what I
us?
put too.
I think that just wins by default.
It's just most likely to get you in prison
Yep.
or go to court, right? Everything else is close, but not like
Going
that.
through the list of all our ideas, and
Well, the corporate espionage too was my second place because I feel like
I
if
had
you
that on there.
okay,
Yep.
that one would get you sued. I don't think it would get you in prison.
Is it illegal? Probably not. I wasn't
You're
going to
right.
mention it until you brought it up. Yeah.
it was between those two. Mm-hmm. I just did not think Scott would be the guy be throwing up the illegal stuff.
Just because I do ones that have fraud and other things in their name.
Weed,
or
coid fish.
espionage.
Don't you
my
know
God.
weed is federally illegal in this country, Scott?
Okay, maybe there are some patterns.
I think tax fraud as a service wins that one.
All right.
The can't stop thinking about it. I didn't go too hard on Storazon before because that was earth shaking. My life is divided into two parts. Before and after I heard this pitch, the next day was telling coworkers. So last night we were recording this episode. My friend pitched this idea. I still think about it all the time. It's so good.
I do think about that
Storazon's
a lot,
on my
too.
top. What do you got?
No question for me. Crows as a service.
Really?
Crows as a service.
To be able to just design and build a box that trains crows to do whatever you want, and it's completely standalone. I don't have to do anything. I just put this box in a field and come back in 3 months, and crows are doing something for me.
You can't stop thinking about it?
It's incredible.
Okay.
That's going to be most viral if it doesn't become.
Are you like super into falconry?
No, not at all. I don't even like birds.
It's just so convenient.
You know what else I put?
What's that?
Bicycle laser tag.
That's a
Yeah,
good
that
one.
was
Right?
second for me.
I use that one to describe this show to people.
That is.
yeah.
We pitch ideas like bicycle laser tag or cabinets that are dishwashers. You get it?
Bicycle laser
Yeah.
tag. It was literally, we'd just watch Top Gun, and what if we put a laser tag pointed right out front of your bike, and then just play in a big, parking lot with that.
Dogfighting.
Dogfighting.
Yeah.
You're dogfighting on bikes, and you have to shoot forward, and that was the key.
Every time I ride a bike now, I'm just like, oh man, I could be shooting some people, like laser tag style, obviously. But
Of
like-
course, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
No.
of course.
I think it wasn't even my main pitch, but the thing that pivoted into severe weather smoke detectors is something that's personally meaningful to me. I just love that so
yeah.
much. But that doesn't have to be one that is nominated for everybody. I just think a lot about it. Thing that you can't stop thinking about is a very personal category. That one is like, why can't my smoke detector do more? It's always plugged in. I could have it do this and that. I think about that all the time.
Dude, that's a good one.
But I think Storazon's my nom.
I still got to stick with crows.
Dude, Crows as a Service is the best.
It's whack.
Like the best way, like one of the best creative ideas that have come because of this show.
It's very,
Right?
very unexpected.
Like you didn't have that in your book of ideas, right? One day, Scott, you between starting the show and now, you thought, I want to make crows
That's a good way to look at it.
do something. No, I just thought that was every time I think about it, I start laughing like so hard.
I don't think about it. I hadn't thought about crows very much since that episode.
It was just that one Rick and Morty episode where he had crows in it, and I'm like, oh my god, they are smart. You could do stuff with.
Sure. I think you're a tiebreaker. What's your fave? What haven't you stopped thinking
Why?
about?
I haven't stopped thinking about Storazon, but
I think that's it then.
yeah,
That-
I
that's
just
a
don't
very
like
close
winning. I don't like
second for
winning
me.
on this many, but yeah,
Did Storazon win something yet? I feel like it needs to win something, and that feels right
Yeah,
to me.
that's a
Yeah.
good one.
All right, almost done here. Home stretch. Most likely to put someone in the hospital. Bicycle laser tag.
That was also my number one on that. Well, no, that was my number two. Windshield games was for sure my number one on that.
I knew that category was made for windshield games.
Yeah.
I think.
Modern CB radio could be up there.
Hold on, pit crew combos
Yeah, I was going to say that too.
is guaranteed hospital.
Wait, what was pit crew combos again?
Your idea of getting multiple medical procedures done at once while you're under
God.
them. You are literally
That's right.
likely to be in the hospital for that, aren't you? That's very on the nose.
Yep.
It's like a hat on a hat a
Okay.
little bit.
Hat on a hat, yeah.
I mean, if I'm getting my appendix removed and someone can do, something else at the same time, why not?
And where are you likely to be when you're doing that? Most likely to put someone in the hospital,
Yeah.
though. I guess that still kind of counts.
I put salt cannon on there. That's
Did you?
what yeah, my own idea. I
makes
was like,
sense.
You were
Yeah, yeah.
defending it so.
it was like, well, that was the thing that killed it for me. I was like, oh yeah, this idea sucks. Somebody's gonna get hurt over salting, and you're like trying to help people.
Over-salting.
Yeah. So
I think because of the whimsy of it, I'm still leaning bicycle laser tag. It's the one that came to mind
it
first.
needs to win. It
Well,
needs to
I mean, the
win.
windshield games is pretty.
I
That might
would
be just
love
most
bicycle
likely to
laser
put
tag
you in the
win
ground.
something, but I'm pretty sure windshield games is gonna kill you.
Yeah, you're not
Windshield
going to the
games-
hospital. You're
No,
going
no.
straight to the
Windshield
ground.
games are going to keep you awake, okay? Focused on the lines of the road.
Or else it's like it'll save lives.
This is.
The only thing that our distracted drivers need.
You imagine you drop your score because you looked off the road. That's
Whoa.
exactly what I'm saying.
To answer a text.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you're an after-school special.
Your score goes down.
You're
Yeah.
in driver's ed, and they wheel out the CRT TV, and imagine you looked away from Tetris for 2 minutes to look at your phone.
Right? There you go. My farm died because I looked away. My Farmville farm. Like,
I think all these references are very millennial.
yeah.
So where are we at? What's most likely to put you in the hospital? I like the argument of windshield games not putting you in the hospital because there's no way you're surviving. I'm going bicycle laser tag. still.
Well, honestly, that's one that's not going to kill you, but you are going to break a limb. We almost crashed several times. I did not bring that up.
And what do you do when you break a limb, Scott?
Go to the
All
hospital.
right,
about you?
I'll go
What are you voting?
laser tag.
I put laser tag
All right. I think that's the good one.
and salt cannon. So
That's very funny to think about.
Yeah.
My eyes!
I know the children are having a great day, and then all of a sudden, like, it's a snow day, Mom.
Crossing guard. Come on over. No!
The propaganda ads to like remove that from would just be that.
Your local congressman wants you to put salt cannons on every stop sign.
Vote no to Prop 2 for the children.
$2 million per.
Which brings us to the MVP, the most valuable pitch. But before we do that, what are all of our winners for each category? All right, editor Leo here in the future. I was kind of an idiot during the live record and didn't write down these as we went. So I can tell you now, after listening back and editing through, the award winners were Most Unlikely, Reheated Meat, Biggest Revenue Potential, Grocery Store Surplus, Hottest Love Corner, Sonder, Best Name, Walkopedia, Most Practical, Uber for Mechanics, Most Impractical, Powerline Mail Delivery, Most Viral, Fantasy Anything, Most Illegal, Tax Fraud as a Service, The Can't Stop Thinking About It, Storizon, Most Likely to Put Someone in the Hospital, Bicycle Laser Tag. Back to the past. All right, so given all of our winners, where does that leave us? What is your most valuable pitch?
Okay.
Your favorite idea, your winner of the past category that you think deserves the ultimate trophy. You want me to go first?
Go ahead.
I've got a pretty
Yeah.
fierce, I think it's Storizon. That's my favorite one.
Yeah.
It's the one that I've bragged about to other people, and it wasn't even my idea. It's so good.
I still
it.
love the crows.
The crows. You're going most
No,
valuable.
hear me out. Hear me
Okay,
out.
all right, hit me.
It's hard between the damn crows, bicycle laser tag, but honestly, I think I gotta go with Beacon, guys.
Oh, that is a good.
Just we had so much fun on that pitch, and the more we talked about it, the more fun ideas came out of such a simple thing. I gotta go with Beacon.
Guys, I'm gonna throw a curveball in here.
Hit me.
Grand card.
Whoa.
Grand mail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I thought a snap, like if you can get Gen Z to do a Snapchat or whatever, millennial to do a Snapchat photo, you send it to your grandparents. Like, here's where I'm at with the little text. Like, literally, you throw your filter on, just print send
It's very
through
good.
the app. I think that's just like,
I think it already exists. That's why I'm not leaning for no.
I guess
think
that makes sense.
I
That
years ago have used a print a postcard and send it service.
There are services that do it, but there's not one that's just marketed and branded for exactly this.
And I think your enhancement on it was your own handwriting,
That's
which is
right.
a little dystopian, but I really like it.
You could also upsell pictures, and like I just take a picture with my phone, hit a button, and it prints out the picture on a Polaroid or something, or a 3x5.
We never actually explained the idea. So this is
Yeah.
a way to communicate with the older generation in your life, grandparents, etc. They don't want to get text messages and emails. They want to get something in the mail. So what if you used an app as an intermediary and you uploaded your photo or you wrote your message or whatever, and it prints it and mails it, which exists in postcard form, I'm certain.
I just think it'd be fun to, 50 cents, send grandma or whatever.
I type
anybody.
an email to a certain address, and it just automatically goes to grandma as a printed form.
It seems like it'd be pretty easy for someone listening to actually do.
Right?
You need a
Hint, hint.
printer
Well,
and some stamps.
or even like that's where the app comes in is to save you all that. It's just a microtransaction. Like if you want to remember something 3 days later, you could just send yourself a card in the mail. There's just like use for that. It's the hardest part is the addresses, which I have. That's what whenever I think about this, I'm like, how do I get address in there?
There is some friction there.
Who knows any? I guess
Who
people
knows their
know.
grandparents' address? Do
Right,
you know your
anymore?
grandparents' address off the top of your head? We send Christmas cards, but yeah, that is an uncommon thing for people to know, I bet.
I got my grandma's address, put a pin in my Google map, and now I just press the pin because I'm like done with trying to find it.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
That's
I'm the
amazing.
weirdo that has whenever I go to someone's house for the first time, I put it in their contact.
Whoa.
So all my contacts have their corresponding birthdays and addresses and all that stuff. It's my database of people.
Yeah, CRM.
And then I pull that out for Christmas card lists. They're all tagged and all that. It's great.
You once said on the show, Russell, that we're monetizing inconvenience, and I think about that a lot.
Yeah,
And that's what this one is. That's what grand mail's.
it is. I like that one. But I do like, I mean, Storazon is just too good.
Storazon is such a good idea.
So is Beacons.
Beacons is fun.
I think it's down to those two for me.
I'd be willing to go over to Storazon on it. It won the most revenue, most everything. I still love Beacons.
Can't stop thinking about it.
This is what's going to cause Storazon to exist now. It's because somebody's going to be like,
The
oh,
legacy
listen
of
to
this show.
podcast. Yeah.
I
Grab
would
the
be
domain.
so okay with that. But
The
it's
fact
even
that
more.
Storazon is how you pitch this show to other people, because that's a pretty good reason.
Are we feeling it? Are we calling it? Most valuable pitch?
Or else
I
it's just
think
being
so.
humble. But
I
yeah,
think
I think
so.
it is.
I think it's.
Congratulations to Storazon for winning the first 100 most valuable pitch idea. Your trophy is in the mail.
Thank you. I can't wait to never execute this.
Once again, these ideas are all for you to have for free, dear listener.
Yes.
And thank you very much for listening. We hope you enjoyed this self-congratulatory episode. And congratulations once more to Storazon for winning the 2024 most valuable pitch. Our website is spitball.show. There you can find links to our YouTube channel, other social media, email us feedback, comments, ideas. We are podcast at spitball.show. And of course, that's also how you can follow us on the Fediverse, just Mastodon. We're podcast at spitball.show. Our subreddit is r/spitball show. Our intro outro music is Swingers by Bonkers Beat Club. Please, if you wouldn't mind, this was a good episode maybe to throw somebody who has never heard it before. So review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Send it to a friend. If there's someone who you think would have enjoyed this conversation, we'd love to have them be a listener. Subscribe, add wherever you get your podcasts. New episode is coming out in 2 weeks. We will see you then.